Hello, captains. It's me, a rather hot, sticky, and sweaty TONIK TZW. The UK is basking in an absolute heat wave at the moment. And yesterday, as many of you know, and thank you for the best wishes, I had a job interview, so was in a suit, shirt, and tie all day. And I'm feeling particularly burnt out. A little bit of not quite sunburn. I think we've managed to catch it before I ended up turning into a lobster from over the weekend with Charlie. But we had a game saved from last week in the legendary tier German. I was going to say a battleship, but it is, of course, a destroyer. It's the Z-52. So we've got guns, we've got torpedoes, we've got long range sonar, and we are running Blue Ferrora with Jerzy Swirsky and Eric Beer as our inspirations to give us the concealment. And I'm also running an epic main battery reload mod on this. Why not torpedoes, you say? Well, you know the way I play destroyers, and I think this thing is better as a gunboat because if you're running blue, even without running mosquito brutes, you get quite a decent reload on your torpedoes anyway. But with many of the other destroyers that you're going to come up against in Legendary tier, you're going to be coming up against gunboats, unless it's a Shimikaze like we have in this game. And for me, being able to try and match people salvo for salvo on the guns to take as many hit points as I can from them when we bump into each other, that's more important because the torpedoes can come into play later in the game. And running Blue Ferrora, as I said, you've got a decent enough reload to be causing panic among the big capital ships that generally tend to hang out at the back of the map. Now, I'm just hanging back here because I know that my sonar can pretty much cover the entire cap. I've just got to be careful while my sonar isn't running because we know that the Shimikaze has a crap ton of torpedoes. And there he is. We back into the cap. We get him spotted and we are going to go guns. We're immediately going to pull away. We're going to wait to see if he smokes up. Thankfully, somebody else is paying attention on the map, and they do put shots out at that guy. And I'm going to stay on him as long as I could. Here come the torpedoes, which were to be expected, because he didn't really shoot at us. And the Montana has decided that he's going to nope it out from behind that rock, because he knows that Blue Team's destroyer, i.e. me, is on this cap as well. Shimikaze probably lost about 50% of his hit points there. So that's a good start for us because hopefully it means he isn't going to push in too close to blue team. Now we are going to play hard on the Caps as a team in this match, which was really nice to see. And I repeated again, as I have in many videos, for those of you that don't know, every capture point is worth 3 points every 5 seconds. Yep, and there are 12 sets of 5 seconds in 1 minute, which means that you can earn 36 points for your team by holding a capture point. If you hold 2, that is 72 points per minute. And obviously, if you hold all 3, I'm going to do the maths in my head here. That is, hang on, 3672 is 108 points per minute for holding all 3 capture points. So for those of you that wonder sometimes why a game is over in 5 minutes on domination when not all the enemy team is killed, it's because basically by killing their ships and holding all the caps, you're both generating points for your team and you're reducing the number of points that are available on the enemy team. And if you do that quick enough, you can end the game very, very quickly. The name of the game is, of course, to play to win, not pay to win. I've seen the store in this most recent update, and I frankly think that the prices are ridiculous. And yeah, Wargaming must be having a laugh. I don't know anybody in my circle of friends and captains in World of Warships Legends, that is dropping £200 or £300 on all of the content every single update. Have you got a whale in your fleet? Name them. Tell us who they are, because they should be subscribed to my channel. They should be a member of my channel, and they should help me earn a few quid so that I don't have to sell my house. Because I don't know how long I'm going to be able to pay the mortgage for. That's one of the reasons that I've applied for this new job, because it is a bit of a step up in both in responsibility and in salary if I can negotiate a decent start. If, or should I say when, hopefully, they offer me the job. But you'll see that so far we did have Charlie Cap out there, but Red Team are weighing in heavily on it. We've had Blue Cap. We've had B Cap turned blue since the start of the game, and the guys, sorry, it was A Cap that was turned red. The guys across on C Cap are going to push in and eventually take that, but we have a large portion of our team across there. We get our first 2% reduction in main battery reload. But look at this, all of Red Team's capital ships have pushed across pretty much to one side of the map. They are being herded. They know there is a destroyer behind them, and I am going to do whatever I can to be a thorn in their side. Because they don't want to push back against me, do they? No. They want to push forward with their Shimikaze, who I'm certain is across there on A cap, and they want to take care of the small blue force on the edge of A cap, and then push round and come through onto B. Yes, we can read this like a storybook, but the Navaran decided that he wanted to try and hunt me down, so I've come away from there to be a little bit safe. We've got the range on the torpedoes, and one of the things that I will say to new destroyer players is it isn't all about damage, it isn't all about killing ships. Your mantra should be spot, capture, and kill. So, first of all, you want to be spotting the enemy ships for your team. If it is a domination game, ideally, you want to be trying to take the capture point. If you can't take the capture point and there are red team ships in it, you should do your best to keep them spotted so that your team can keep hitting them and taking the cap points off them so that they do not turn it for their team. So there you go, a little couple of lessons and tips to remember. Your third role, and it is a tertiary role, is to kill enemy ships. Now, you don't have to go all out to try and kill as many enemy ships as you can. You shouldn't be chasing around after battleships. You know, you see me, I'm not chasing all this big steel around the map and pushing into it because there are far too many ships there for me to safely push against. We're going to get more than enough damage here. That Navaran thought he wanted a piece of me. He's since turned away. I think he thought I was trying to push all the way out to the flank of A and come round on them, but I'm not. Lepanto there, I think he's going to have a good game for his team. I'm wary of his secondaries, of course, because they do slap it quite hard. But here we go. Look, this Yamato has pushed all the way round to B cap. So we're going to try and keep as much spotted as we can. The majority of our team are there now on Charlie Cap still. So keeping these guys spotted, allowing the team to get those resets on. I'm also keeping an eye on the cap turning, because if the team are hitting that Yamato and they aren't resetting the cap all the way, it probably means that the Shimikaze is in there with them too. And oh dear, there's something dangerous. It's the Brisbane. Now, I was going to pull away towards the back of the map because it looked like that Yamato was going to try and push through to this side. I've got the Brisbane spotted, and I'm calling for fire on him because he is a huge risk to me. So if the team could get rid of him, that would be absolutely brilliant and give me
All
a
stations,
bit more
reporting the
room
position of a
for
strategic target.
maneuverability. And that's another reason why it's important for you to be the eyes of your team. You need to spot and identify the priority targets, the biggest risks, the guys with radar, the guys that are going to constantly set fires.
Concentrate
You
fire
know,
on the
ships
enemy
like the
position.
Minotaur who are going to rain down constant streams of AP and smash your ships down to nothing in a very short space of time. If you can help your team get rid of those ships, it makes your
All
team's
stations
life
retreat.
easier. Now, the Yamato has gone out of
Javelins and
the
fire
game.
guns.
I've got a fair collection of flags here, but what I don't have is a kill flag. And well, I'm going to have to move closer to the TV because we must be at least halfway through the game by now. And here comes the Navaran pushing in. There's a smoke screen there. I initially thought it could be the Shimakaze, but it is the Lepanto running his smoke screen. So I'm now going to drop from what is the south side of the minimap, and I'm going to head to the north side of the minimap because I want to screen the right-hand corner here, and that is exactly why I wanted to push round here, because I'm sure that the Shimikaze is going to push round with, I think it's a Montana there. It is indeed. Now, our team did not really have to do
Engine
anything.
boost
I'm doing a
deactivated.
very good job of keeping these guys spotted. But our GK has decided that he wants to come sailing out from Charlie Cap and try to take on 3 battleships in one go. Now, I know for a fact that you can get hidden away behind those islands and in some places shoot across the top. And
All stations
I would have done the
retreat.
spotting for that, guys. You don't have to overcommit because that is what he is doing at this moment in time. Now, I'm absolutely sure the Shima is out here. You will know that when we spawned on B Cap earlier, that we weren't located, so he is not running twist and track or perceptive, so he doesn't know exactly where I am. A lot of people have said, "Oh no, I don't use that. I go for torpedo reload or torpedo range, things like that." But honestly, guys, knowing where the enemy is, and knowing where your closest target is as a destroyer player is very, very important because you can run them down, you can ping the map. I've pushed close, I've bumped into this guy. We're going to get our guns on, we're going to run our smoke and our sonar because this guy is not going to be out of sonar range before we get a chance to kill him, and that is
Enemy
him
destroyer
out of the
sunk.
game. We finally pick up a kill. And now we're going to go on to the Montana, and I'm going to use another little trick that I have as well. I'm sharing all my secrets in this one. Basically, I'm going to fire my torpedoes in between my gun reloads, because if you're a destroyer
All
in a
stations
smokescreen
retreat.
and you stop firing at a ship for a very long time, then there's a good chance that he's going to know that you're targeting him and launching torpedoes at him. Now, that's exactly what I did. He still put a turn in, but he's very low health. We lose our GK. The points are very close at the moment. There were
Enemy
only
battleship
3 points
sunk.
difference between
All
blue and
stations
red
retreat.
until I took care of that Montana. Now we've got a bit of a safety cushion. It's going to take them a minute to flip this cap. So technically, they should not have the time to be able to pull enough points back to pull victory from this game. That is, of course, unless this Worcester, who is extremely low health, decides that he wants to try and take on 2 battleships and farm himself up a little bit more damage. Now, I did think this Shima put a smoke screen here. I can utilize that if the Worcester can see this guy, and I start firing my guns. We get a reset, but oh dear, the Shimikaze smoke screen has disappeared. it's dangerous for me because the Navaran's going out of range and the Lepanto is coming into range. And I'm thinking, well, this Worcester's doing a decent job of it, but both these guys are going to pick on him and they are going to take him out of the game. We've got around a 200-point lead now, and that's because we had two caps
All
for so
stations
long.
retreat.
And you can see all we're doing is resetting, but the Worcester goes out of the game. The Lepanto is turning, and it was the second that Worcester went out of the game, I'm thinking, oh no, I need to stop shooting now and I need to start running away. Thankfully, there were only 20 seconds left in the match, and as I drop out of detectability range, the match ends with that Navaran burning out to the Worcester. A Whisker under 119,000 damage, 2 kills. We get our cap, we get a handful of cap resets. We get second spot on the board with 2785, with the Worcester not that much above me, really. So, a few tips, tricks, and tactics there on Destroyer play. I think it was a fine example of me playing the Z52 at Legendary tier. I hope you have enjoyed it. Please do smash the like button, leave me a comment, subscribe if you haven't, and if you do like the videos and you want to support the channel, there are memberships available. You can leave a super thanks, or you can make a or you can make a donation through the PayPal link that's in the channel description. So thanks again, everybody. As always, until next time, take care of yourselves and goodbye.